Hey, how's it going? Welcome back to Ohrmundt Simmentals. It is Saturday afternoon. This morning, Dad and I went on a little trip. It was about an hour and a half away. A used baler, a New Holland 7070. We just kind of wanted to look at it. It's kind of what would be maybe in our price range. We're definitely not ready to pull the trigger on anything yet, but we just want to see it for the bale count, the price, all that kind of stuff. What does that thing look like up close? We're going to head down to the shop, and we do have our roller. We do have to fab something because we misplaced something. But hopefully it's not too bad to make, but we'll see how it turns out. And then start trying to put that baler back together. And then probably tomorrow we'll pick up a few loads of bales. All right, as far as the roller is concerned, we got the roller back. The guys we took it to, see, Dad had cut this out, the original one, torched it out, and then they created a new plate. And then they also put, so there was a plate that was like this, and it was actually kind of domed, and it wasn't a solid plate. But what they did is they put this plate in, plus they put a secondary plate in back here. So I think they welded it to this plate and to this plate. And then what they did is they actually plug welded it in 4 locations. And then this is welded here. We're not quite sure what this guy is all about. If they shrunk that into here or what. But they did check the run out on the shaft extension. So that should be pretty true. But it did make that end of the roller a little bit heavier. We do have to fab up a part because for the life of us, we do not know where the other one of these went. It potentially is at the shop where we took it to, or it ran away with, I don't know, like the socks in the dryer or something, who knows. But we have to try and make one. We have steel that would be the same size. So see what Dad can craft up here, right? He's thinking.
Right.
Well, I figured out what was wrong with my sprayer. So I had gotten, this is the original connection to hook this up to a battery. So you can unplug it here. Well, this setup has a 15 amp fuse right here. And I had gotten a cable to get rid of this and the alligator clips and go right from here down to my battery tender. And it wasn't working. And I'm like, what the F? Because it should work. It's basically the same style plug. It's stupid. But what I found out is that, because it was buried under, I'll show you, it'd be so much easier. It has a fuse of its own right here. And I didn't see it right away because it was like tucked under these power cords. So once I noticed it, I got it to the top. I took it out. So this takes a 7.5 amp, and I'm guessing that's why that tripped. This tripped this. So that's got a 15, it's got a 7.5. I'll see if I can find a bigger one that can go in there. If not, then we're going to cut that out. So Dad and I are pretty close to just throwing that roller in and starting to really assemble it. But it is the Packers' first preseason game tonight. Actually, they start now. They started 2 minutes ago. But I need to feed a bale out to the cows. They actually are pretty calm. They haven't shown They haven't been talking to me at all, at least. So they're pretty content. But again, the object is not to wait till they're hungry, because that's dumb. So we're gonna feed them a bale, make sure that they're good to go for the night, and then I will move them again tomorrow. We got this bale spread out, sort of. I kind of would have liked to gotten a little more over here, and I was trying to do that, but then the core kind of broke loose on me. But this still ain't too bad. They've been crapping up a storm over here, so it should be okay. Plus we got that seed in the ground. Hey, good morning. All right, it is Sunday morning and we are getting going. First on the dock this morning is I'm gonna take a quick look at our lawnmower. I left the charger on it last night just so we can rule out that it's a battery issue. If it starts right now, I know that the battery sucks then. But I brought my Ohrmundt back from the shop. So I can do a couple checks if that isn't the case. And then Dad and I are going to decide whether we're going to pick up bales or work on the baler. Alright, so I got one little small victory. Went and got some new fuses, put a bigger fuse in here. Same fuse that's up in here. Dad's excited because his polka songs are on. So now I can use my battery tender cable hookup with my new switch. And works just fine. Yeah, so one small victory. Not so much on the lawnmower. As Dad and I contemplate life's decisions on how we went about putting this in, we finally got it in. So it is here. The bearings aren't in yet. We'll do that probably after lunch or Monday or something, but it is in because we want to pick up bales this weekend too. We had a ratchet strap here. We had a ratchet strap at one point in the middle of the roll. Then we took that one out after we had it partially in, and then had a ratchet strap around here to get this thing up. So this is just wiggle, so that is now solid. So that was, what did that take us, 2 hours? Just to get the roller in. So we're gonna take a lunch break. That was not fun. Since we had so much fun this morning working on the baler, we thought we might pick up some bales this afternoon. The other reason, we were thinking of picking up bales this morning, but there was such a good dew on the ground that we thought, why not just let the fields and stuff and the grasses and everything dry off, because it is really nice out today. So because our lawnmower is out of commission for today, Dad thought he would be nice and bring over their nice zero turn. He's like, oh, I'll just cut a little bit and then Bethany can use it after that. Fast forward half hour, 45 minutes. He's got most of the front lawn done. And I'm still waiting for him to get on the tractor and go pick up bales. So stuff I have to deal with. So there were 7 bales left on this lower part. Granted, right over here isn't much drier. Where I'm at right now actually isn't all that bad. There's one spot that is really wet. All right, so this field is definitely much better. We used to cut this taller grass chunk here, but it seems like there's kind of a wet hole in that tall grassy area before you even get to that drain ditch. So the last couple of years we've just been staying out of it. Still ended up spinning out a little bit. It wasn't real bad. Dad had to give me a little push, a little nudge. But that's all right. So we're gonna go and move the cows. Okay, that went pretty well. I hadn't opened the ribbon yet. I didn't really want to, so I wasn't quite sure how they would react. So I had to keep backing up so not to give them too much pressure. But the ribbon is going to come down. This guy's going to come down, and then what I'm going to do is take this line right up to the T-posts, and then I'm going to shoot it off to where the other one is hanging up right now. So that, I think that should work out pretty nice, because then it'll keep them out of where they've been. I do think I'm really gonna like the way I set this up this second time around. You know, I might have actually learned a little bit of a lesson from some things and just giving it a try. Always thought I needed a fence here, but I really don't. I mean, I'm doing it with essentially, you know, a 15-foot chunk of fence. Yes, I have a fence around that, you know, that little L shape, but that's it. And I think it's gonna be nice, you know. And sometimes I got to keep reminding myself that if you're not gonna try something, you know, it's not gonna work because you never even tried it. And then I always like the phrase, like one of my favorite high school football coaches, that I had him for a coach, and then I coached with him for, I don't know, it was like 5, 6, 8 years or something. He made the comment once and started because he was also the head wrestling coach at the time. If nothing changes, nothing changes. And basically that means it's kind of like the definition of insanity. If you keep doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result, that's considered, you know, kind of definition of insanity. Or I like, if nothing changes, nothing changes. So if you want something to change, you got to do something a little different. So kind of goes along with the same premise of you don't know until you try, you know. But you also want to have at least some, you know, get some, you know, data or some research to back it up. Yeah, everybody's doing all right. That cow back there, so about a week and a half ago, I had to go check her out because she was kind of laying off by herself, moving a little slow. Kept an eye on her. She never went worse. She always stayed pretty decent. She always stayed, she didn't get any worse. She moved slow for a couple of days, I noticed. But after that, she's been fine. She's moving good. I'm guessing she got just caught up in a little breeding fun. So, still one of our better heifers. Puffy face. No puffy face there. Out of a first calf heifer, Mike drop daughter. All right, it looks like Bethany's taking the dog out for a walk in the field. He loves that. We'll take him that chunk of field that's south of the bales. Just letting him go out there, run around. He loves that. Wears off a little energy for him. Lets him tap into his inner lab, which he has very little of. He is such a lazy lab, but honestly, that's good for us. We don't have to. He likes to lay around on the porch, watch the cars. He's very well behaved. All right, so I'm thinking of trying out my sprayer. Unfortunately, I got a really little shower coming over the top of us right now. I mean, like, it's like I almost could dodge the raindrops kind of shower. And of course, now it's coming even further and harder. What the F? What the F? It's literally like right where that blue dot is. You see that? Come on! So now that I got rained out from trying out my sprayer, like 30 minutes earlier, I probably would have had it done. And there's a couple of showers coming behind it. As we refer to these as popcorn showers. They just pop out of nowhere. But at least I wasn't out moving the cows. That'll feel good for them too. There wasn't a lot of flies on them, but there was a little bit, so this might make them feel a little better. So I think I might run to Fleet quick and see if I can get a new battery for my lawnmower. And maybe get it installed yet tonight, but we'll see. So, all right, we'll call this the end of the video. It's the end of the weekend. Hopefully this coming week is decent. Like I said, I got football starting, so I got a couple days in there of that, and then the following week it'll be like a normal after school, after work type of thing. Unfortunately, then that cuts into farm stuff, so me and Dad will have to coordinate that. But all right, as usual, hope you guys liked the video. Please hit that thumbs up button, help support the channel. It also helps when you guys subscribe, so don't forget to do that. If you got any comments or questions, please leave them in the comments. And as always, thanks for coming along.